Today we're going to take a road trip north of New Plymouth to a place called the Three Sisters.
Today we are going to the beautiful Elephant Rock and the Three Sisters. They are amazing limestone rock formations which are about an hour drive up from New Plymouth. They are an amazing excuse to go to the beach and an amazing excuse to actually go on a hike along the shore.
The thing with this Three Sisters is you need to get there at low tide, and the low tide today is at 8:22 in the morning, and we have a drive of like an hour to get up to the Three Sisters. And you know, as expected, we get there maybe about an hour into the low tide segment. So the tide is slowly coming in.
You can only access the Three Sisters at low tide, so that's why we are in a rush to get there. So we have plenty of time to take pictures.
Yeah, we're not going to make it in time, I think, but let's see.
So we start seeing all the limestone cliffs in so many different colors and beautiful shapes. You can see massive rocks on the sand which have just been carved by the sea, coming and out for years and centuries and thousands of years. It's just, oh wow, just amazing. Then also on the floor you can see a lot of fossilized trees. So basically they're tree trunks which has been overtaken by the mud and the rocks, and it's pretty cool. You can see a lot of kind of different formation. It looks Jurassic. It's really cool. Can I say how cool it was again? It was amazing. I loved it. So the tide came back a little faster than I thought. So I'm a little surrounded on my rock right now.
We can see the tide is starting to make its way in, but there's still enough time to actually walk to the Three Sisters, and the tide is still low enough. So thank God we've got there just in time, basically, to see everything. There's a few sections where we do need to do some stone hopping to get closer to the Three Sisters, and we know there's this really cool rock here called Elephant Rock, which is named because it looks like a giant elephant. But unfortunately the tide is a bit too high to get there now. But we can sort of see it in the distance a little bit. It's unfortunate we can't get there at the moment, but I'll let the drone footage do it for you. That is what the Elephant Rock looks like. It's a work of art done by nature.
Yeah, so I get to jump on that massive rock, and the view from there is pretty cool because you can see all the little rocks at the bottom and a beautiful view on the Three Sisters. So I'm treating myself to a selfie.
We are with Tina and Marcus, the merman.
The merman! Half a man, half a mermaid. Man! Tina has a bit of bling too.
Of
Look
course.
at that. Awesome. So we're just escaping the tide right now, because if not we're gonna get stranded.
We don't know if it is greenstone, but there's hints of green in there.
There's huge cliffs right next to us. They're like a white orangey colour, and you can see layers upon layers of the different like segments, and you can see like its evolution between like the different stages through being like at the bottom of the sea and then raising out the sea. And there's like layers of shell fossils, for instance, and then layers of just sandy, gritty stone, and then there's even huge boulders just sticking in the side of the rock. And one of them, in fact, we see a boulder, like a perfectly spherical boulder on the side, in a little trench on the beach itself. And there's so much to see even before you even get to the Three Sisters.
So the theme of our lunch today is a color. Guess which one? We're having a quick healthy lunch before leaving and driving along the coast on our way to New Plymouth. And back at the Ducks and Drakes Backpacker in New Plymouth for last night. Today we are going to the beautiful Elephant Rocks and its tree. Today we are going to the beautiful Elephant Rock and its Today we are going to the beautiful Elephant Rock and the Three Sisters.